It sounds cliche, but home is where the heart is. You know, there's places that you might call home, but you don't feel welcome. So how could it really be a home? Or there might be places where you're only going to be there for a few months, but the people that are there are so welcoming that it feels like home.
On track number 2.
I think loneliness is the strongest feeling that I've felt throughout my entire life. I think, oddly enough, I sometimes feel less lonely on the bus because I'm surrounded by a bunch of other people who have to take the bus too. I think there is a perpetual loneliness when you're a teenager without a family trying to figure life out. I was born into a household of a single mother. My father was around when I was really young, except when he was around, he was physically abusive to my mother. And that's around the time that my mom just stopped working. And I've never seen her work a job since then. So we were completely reliant on Section 8 housing. As I reflect, I have empathy for her as a woman who experienced a lot of hardship in her life. But as her child, it's sometimes hard to reconcile the things that we had to deal with. When we were evicted for that final time, I had to make that decision to say, I'm going to take charge of my life. And if that means going out on my own and having to be independent and having to rely on the resources in the city, then that's what I'm gonna have to do. I would reach out to people in the community, whether it's my basketball team, basketball coach, people that I know, and I'm just like letting them know my situation and asking them if I can live with them. And most people said no, but there are some people that let me stay for a period of time. But ultimately, people grow weary of sharing their space.
Booth Brown House, this building in particular, has a long history. It was a home for unwed mothers, but it has always been programming for youth and young adults here in the Como Park neighborhood. My hope is that they leave here knowing somebody cares about them, that they've made a relationship with somebody, because down the road, they are gonna remember that. When I finally got transitional living at the Booth Brown House, I will say it was really the best news I've ever gotten in my life, and I don't take that lightly. Truly, having stable housing is life-changing. They're on the ground with you when you're going through it. They're passing you tissues when you're crying, so you don't have to do this alone. And to me, that is the work of the Lord. Even though it was difficult, I had so many blessings that a lot of people didn't have. So I don't look at myself as like, woe is me, I have nothing. But it's like, whoa, look at all this beauty around me. And sometimes, yeah, you reflect on the things that you don't have, but if you fixate on that, then you won't get to see how many beautiful things and people are around you. Here, I was just I felt like I was living the life, honestly. And that's why Booth Brown House is so memorable to me, because it wasn't this trauma and despair. It was like, for the first time, I felt just so stable and blessed, and it was just an amazing experience for me.
Nobody would know what you were going through unless you told them. So like when I found out, I was like, wow, like she's so strong. Like, and I remember junior year when you were going through all that stuff, and I just always felt like you were such an inspiration, and I always knew you were going places.
You went through so much, and like nothing stopped you. Like nothing stopped you. You persevered through like homelessness, just things with your family, like poverty, and you did it. So I'm incredibly proud of you.
When you talked about wanting to be an attorney, I remember at this time, the city attorney was Sammy Clark, and I was like, hey, this kid's gonna be an attorney one day. So yeah, I always believed you were gonna be a lawyer because you said that's what you were gonna do.
That's something that when I passed the bar, I was just so grateful, just thinking about like all the people along the way who helped me. And that's why I'm like so passionate about the Booth Brown House as well, because that was truly a phenomenal place, and I couldn't even imagine that there were places like that for youth.
The thing that struck me most about you was that I was like, oh, this kid has that internal motivation, and I was like, oh, she's got this. And you sure did.